My beloved, hear me with everything you are, because this is not ordinary words laid before you. This is a trumpet from the courts of heaven sent by Archangel Michael and placed into your hands for a reason. Lean close. Michael is not merely concerned, he is alarmed. Angels do not tremble without cause, and tonight a grave council convened in the shadows, a council that spoke your name. They spoke of your future, they plotted against your peace, and they designed a plan to steal what God has placed inside you. The enemy's intention is intimate, to lie with your spirit, to entangle your body, to press shame upon what was made holy. This is not metaphor. It is warfare, a collision now over your mind, your body, and the destiny written for you. God himself whispered through Michael, "If my child turns away from this, if they skip this word, I cannot reach them in time." That is the urgency pressing on this moment. Every moment of delay loosens the enemy's hold. That is why Michael is shouting, "Open now." Before I reveal the darkness they engineered, hold this truth like iron. Heaven never abandons the one it loves. Even when hell marshals its ranks, this message found you. It was not random. Heaven rearranged pathways so this would interrupt your day. Most people glance and say, "Later." Later is the doorway the enemy waits to wedge open. Michael cannot plead in whispers. He storms the courts of heaven because a decision hangs in the balance. If your spirit trembles as you read, do not mistake it for panic. It is recognition. Your soul is answering an alarm only it can hear. If your heart tugs, yield to it. Stay with me to the end, because buried in these lines is your rescue, your breakthrough, the covering that will repel the darkness. Picture the chamber where that meeting took place. A table of shadows, a smoke-thick air, demons hunched like vultures studying a ledger with your name inked in malicious blood. They scheme to drain your joy, to wear you down in quiet ways, to tempt you in your most vulnerable hours. "We will approach them in the night," one hissed. But Michael strode into that hall and slammed his sword like thunder on their council board and declared, "Not while I stand." That interruption is why you are reading now. The battle is not looming. It is immediate. Michael begs you to open your eyes before the snare snaps. Beloved, heaven's breath has been on you since your first heartbeat. Do not let the noise of the world steal this hour. If there was ever a message that stood between bondage and freedom, blessing and curse, life and loss, this is it. Michael's wings are quivering with holy urgency. He will not be still while your name is used to sign a contract of ruin. Hell called a meeting about you. Hear the weight of that. Your name echoed in the halls of darkness like a bell of warning, because what you carry threatens them. They plotted to send spirits of lust, confusion, sickness, and heaviness. Their aim to seduce your sleep, to poison your mind, to hijack your heart. Michael cried out, and God leaned in with tears, saying, "If they ignore this word, the covenant that covers them will loosen." The rescue is tied to obedience, not legalism, but to the simple act of receiving what heaven hands you now. When you feel the fire in your chest as you read, that is not fear. It is confirmation. Your spirit knows this word is for you. Do not fight that tug. Sit with these sentences until the end, because your miracle is nested inside this very persistence. If this is your first time here, subscribe now. not for my sake, but so your soul can continually receive lifelines. Each message from heaven is a weapon pressed into your hands. Return with me to the council of hell. Demons mapped your patterns, circled your weak hours, wrote down the names of those who could be used as snares. They whispered, "Bring back the old hurts. Remind them of the shame that once broke them. Use their loneliness, use their tiredness. Send people who will betray, lovers who will bind." But the earth shook, and light tore the smoke. Michael appeared, sword burning, voice like a storm. "Touch not the anointed." Their scrolls burned, the demons scattered. Do you see why this message landed on your path? Michael exposed the snare. He refused silence. But his victory depends on one thing: you must not look away. God's counsel echoed, "If they skip this, I cannot save them. My protection is partnered with their obedience." I know that sounds severe, but understand the covenantal logic. When the heart refuses a lifeline, the hand cannot snatch it. The window of rescue can be open, but only when the one targeted reaches through. Heaven bent time and fought distraction so that you would have this chance. The enemy planned to steal your attention with buzzing phones, fatigue, and petty interruptions. They designed your day to swallow this hour. But Michael cried that if you finish, the contract will be burned, chains will snap, and the enemy's plans will become the foundation for your testimony. If your chest tightens as you read, do not mistake it for cowardice. It is your soul stirring awake. The trembling is the sound of heaven aligning. Subscribe, return, and let every such word fortify you. The demons will try to invade your dreams, to plant shame while you sleep. But if you cling to this word, that invasion will be repelled. Angels stand at the edge of your home, wings outstretched, swords ready, but if you give up and walk away, they step back.
Hear me plainly. The council in hell was no idle chat. It was a contract written to choke your future. Satan spat that you were too close to breakthrough and ordered a slow campaign: seduce, distract, wear down, and ultimately bind. Their playbook is familiar. Disguise temptation as beauty, present false relief as rest, and feed lies until doubt replaces prayer. That is why certain faces reappear, why the same old traps return. It is warfare, not coincidence. But Michael stepped into that chamber, burned the edges of their scroll, and declared, "This one sealed for the king." Heaven has signed your destiny in a blood that does not fade. Yet protection is not automatic. It is relational. Michael can stand guard. God can weep. But if you turn away from what heaven says, you unfasten your own covering. The enemy waits for that split second of indifference. That is why God thundered through Michael, "Do not skip." The protective covenant is tied to your response. When you stay, every line you read straps another piece of armor to your soul. Every sentence is a sword forged in heaven's fire. The enemy knows this, which is why the push to stop grows strongest right before your darkest curve. It is the last attempt to prevent your breakthrough. In the hall after Michael's assault, the demons regrouped and plotted to attack your future, to delay blessings, to blind your steps, to drown your clarity. But heaven replied, "No weapon formed will prosper. Their destiny is sealed in my palm."
Michael leaned over the recoiling demons and declared, "You may try to choke their nights, but I will fill them with dreams of fire. You may try to close their doors, but heaven will lay golden stones before their feet. The pressure you felt lately, the long nights and anxious mornings, it is warfare. The enemy smelled your coming season and tried to strangle it before it birthed. Yet you are still here reading, proof that heaven's intervention has held. Listen, demons never chase the hollow. They only organize against treasure. If you are being targeted, it is because something glorious is being formed in you. That should change how you see your scars and your seasons of waiting. Hell's calendar had dates circled for your fall. But tonight, as you refused to skip, Michael tore that calendar to shreds. Appointments of destruction were canceled, curses reversed. What they intended for your ruin will be repurposed for your elevation. You will laugh where you once wept. Loss will be multiplied back as blessing. Do not be naive. The war is not over. Satan will try again. But remember this, heaven does not sleep either. The angels assigned to you are relentless, and Michael vowed, "I will not leave their side." Each time you return to these words, your armor thickens. Each time you are faithful, the enemy loses ground. That is the cosmic logic of obedience. Small acts of staying turn into large swings of authority. The pressure that builds before your breakthrough is the enemy's last gasp. Now hear the most tender promise. The very tactic Satan intended for your humiliation will become the crowning jewel in your testimony. The shame intended to chain you will become the story that sets others free. The night they wanted to bury you will be the night the heavens marked you untouchable. The area of attack will become the area of blessing. If they tried to steal your peace, peace will multiply. If they tried to touch your body, health will bloom. If they attempted to choke your joy, laughter will erupt like fountains. God is a craftsman of reversals. He spins ashes into glory. Feel the shift, beloved. That strange, quiet peace that settles over your chest now is not the absence of fear. It is the presence of God's shield. Michael's sword still burns at your door, but tonight a seal has been pressed because you endured. You did not skip. You stayed. You sat through the fire, and the contract became ash. Victory is now inscribed over you. Breathe and receive it. You are sealed, chosen, untouchable. But let this final honesty ring in your bones. This is not the end of battles. The enemy is relentless, and his schemes will return with new faces, subtler lies, and softer temptations. Yet do not be afraid. Each time you open the words heaven sends, you grow harder to touch. Your soul becomes like tempered metal, stronger, brighter, and dangerous to hell. Heaven draws you here to equip you because your life is not only for you. Your rising will spark others. Your freedom will break chains for people you will never meet. That is why the enemy panicked. He saw the ripple your life would cause.
Take this promise to heart. Because you stayed, God will restore, multiply, and lift. He will return joy for tears, increase what was taken, and bend doors open that were once sealed. Angels will remain at your thresholds until every miracle completes. Your endurance has been witnessed. Your obedience has earned a covenant response.
The calendars of hell are torn, the scrolls burnt, the plans turned to testimony. Now stand and walk forward with the courage poured into you in this moment. You are chosen. You are sealed in blood. No demon will lie down in your bed. No lie will have the final say. Michael whispers now, softer than thunder, yet sharper than lightning. It was not for nothing. Your staying pushed back storms scheduled to destroy you. Your obedience unlocked miracles waiting for years. Feel that warmth rising, the crown being forged above you, each word another jewel, each moment of faith another flame. When this word is complete, the angels will shout, and the contract of darkness will be undone. Remember, beloved, the war is real, but the victory is certain if you do not skip. Return to these words, subscribe to the lifeline heaven presses into your hands, and let every message be another sword, another shield. Walk forward with your head high. Your future is not a fog, but a road lit by Michael's sword. Your steps are golden, your nights are covered, your destiny is untouchable. Go now in peace and power. You endured. The counsel of hell failed. The scrolls are ash. The child is sealed. Victory is declared. Michael stands at your door, sword lowered but ready, and God leans in with love and promise. My child, you are mine. No darkness will write your ending. Rise now, chosen. Walk in the freedom your obedience unlocked.